Oh man, so this is the story of how CrossFit Edwardsville got started and kind of bringing us up to modern day. Back in 2013, I was working 93 hours a week to like build this CrossFit thing and be a physical therapist. Just living a super, lean life, super focused from dawn till dusk. My whole day is about managing some kind of work thing, either being the landlord to Apex with the commercial facility, either building the CrossFit business, coaching the CrossFit business, running the business side of that, or being a physical therapist. And my wife Caroline was pregnant with our first son, our only son right now. Our son Zai. Zai was born in August of 2013, and like in the days leading up to that, like the months, I just remember thinking to myself, like how crazy it was that I was juggling all these things and wearing all of these hats, and all this time, the CrossFit business just keeps exploding, keeps growing. I remember when I was working in PT, just one of those days. It was strange because, maybe it's not strange, but to me it felt strange. Like the CrossFit thing, the CrossFit lifestyle, the people that were in my business, the staff, the team that I was leading, all of them were so important to me. It was such an important, integral part of me and my identity and who I was as a person. Still is, but I just remember thinking to myself, like, it's just like this huge part of my life that I'm excited about. It's this amazing growing thing that's becoming a truly legitimate business. I'm thinking to myself, like, I never felt welcome to discuss it when I was working in physical therapy. Like amongst the people that I worked with, it seemed like there was this disconnect where, for whatever reason, maybe it was just me, maybe it was how they reacted, but they just didn't seem like receptive to me like discussing the CrossFit thing. And I think I was probably a little bit insecure about discussing it because I didn't want to seem to my employer there like I was distracted. I wanted to be like fully attentive and invested in my patients and in being an amazing employee to the PT operation that I was a part of. And so I had this, it's like almost like this dual life where, like, for part of my day, I'm 100% a physical therapist, and I'm 100% committed to helping people to recover from injury, disability, limitation. And then the other part of the day, I'm CrossFit coach, the CrossFitter, the business dude, growing his small business to bigger and bigger things every single month. With the help of this great team of people. I remember the day when our business became a six-figure business where we were generating over $100,000 a year in revenue. I remember like that day. I just remember thinking to myself, I was going through patient care. I just remember thinking to myself, like, nobody here has any idea really that just down the road, I've got this over $100,000 a year revenue generating business that is essentially my side hustle because I'm doing that in addition to this. Essentially it's a second full-time job, but I just couldn't even discuss it with my patients. I couldn't discuss it with my coworkers, with my bosses. It was literally like I was leading this double life, and it's just it was kind of thrilling that, like, we got this business thing going, but anyway, it was this constant war with just like juggling all these different things. It was definitely challenging. It was challenging, and when my son was born in August of 2013, it was very apparent to me as I was going through the same daily ritual where I wake up in the morning and I race to the gym and I coach the classes and I do a workout, then I race home and I shower, dress, have breakfast, race off to PT, finish that, race back to the gym, coach more classes, race home, shower, go to sleep, etc. It was very apparent to me that my son was not going to have a real relationship with his father if I kept on this path. It was just extremely obvious to me that you really couldn't have it both ways. And it was, I remember the day that my boss, Brett, pulled me into the office to tell me that I didn't work at Apex anymore. I didn't work at the PT operation anymore. It was, so in order to capture sleep whenever I could, right? Like, I would bust tail from 9 a.m. as a physical therapist up until lunchtime, and I spent like the first 30 minutes of lunch like chowing down food, but then also writing my PT notes. Then I would like go into one of the patient care rooms, since we're closed over lunchtime, go into the patient care rooms, close the door, turn off the lights, and take a quick nap. Because I was trying to capture just like that 10 minutes of sleep to recharge the battery so I could keep going and keep on this like furious pace of 93 hours a week of work. Well, anyway, I remember like I'd that one particular day I'd had my lunch, and before I even got to the patient care room, like I'm in the lunchroom falling asleep in my chair, and my boss walks past the break room and sees me kind of drifting there, and he keeps on walking his way. Then comes back, pulls me into the office, and tells me that I don't work at Apex anymore. And I just remember thinking to myself, this is crazy, because I feel like this is the sort of thing that would be really stressful for a lot of people. This is the sort of thing that would probably be like devastating for a lot of people. And I just thought to myself, I kind of feel relieved. I kind of feel this burden lifted off of my shoulders, because now instead of juggling this many things, I was only juggling this many things. And I called up my wife Caroline, and I told her, hey, right now, as of right now, I am full-time at CrossFit Edwardsville. And it's you, it's me, it's the team, it's Zai, and that's all we're doing from now on is just that. And I remember Caroline, like, she felt the same as me. She's like, awesome, come home, let's go to the gym right now, and let's just start building this thing. And it was really cool that, you know, in those moments where, you know, there's a pretty substantial life change, and, you know, I'm leaving the PT world behind, which, you know, I did love the PT world. Don't make no mistake, I loved that job. I was very fortunate. I've had a number of jobs that I've loved over the years. I loved that job. I loved the work. I loved, you know, seeing the impact that my work had on people. You know, you work with somebody and it directly impacts their life. They get better. They're recovering from injury, disability, limitation, handicap of some sort. I remember, like, it was so rewarding to help people in that way, and then in the CrossFit space, help them get from, see what you do in PT is you help people get from limitation or disability to status quo, back to where they were. In CrossFit world, you get them from status quo to exceptional, right? And it was kind of cool to be a part of the entire health spectrum. But I remember it was just so cool to me that when I decided in that moment I was going to retire from physical therapy, that it was not going to be anymore. I'm done with it. I'm going full force into this CrossFit thing and building it. That the business was already at that point like mature enough that it could immediately like just accept me and Caroline and be our entire source of revenue, to be what would provide for our baby son Zai, what would provide for me and for her. And sure, there was this absence of anxiety, there's this absence of fear. It was just, here we are. Now this is it. Now there's no other path. There's no going back. It's full force. It's all CrossFit all the time now. Now this business has to grow and has to thrive, because it's the only thing that's going to be providing for me and Caroline and our son. So that is essentially the birth of CrossFit Edwardsville. Anyway, you'll hear be more about the cast of characters, Caroline, Zai, Scott, Janelle, etc. in later videos of the series, but that's it.